Well, North Korea today saying it would launch a nuclear attack on America if provoked. President Trump responding to the threat by urging China to get involved via the following tweets, quote, "I explained to the president of China that a trade deal with the U.S. will be far better for them if they solve the North Korean problem." Also, North Korea is looking for trouble. If China decides to help, that would be great. If not, though, we will solve the problem without them, USA. Joining us now is Institute for the Study of War naval analyst Chris Harmer. He was a commander in the U.S. Navy with multiple combat tours in the Middle East. Chris, good to see you. On Sunday, Vice President Pence arrives in Seoul, Korea. That is about the same time at which the USS Vincent arrives there with the support of ships with the destroyers, etc. I think the message that we're sending is we don't need the Chinese. Every other administration since the time North Korea became nuclearized said we have to have the Chinese to stop it. I think what we're saying is we can do it without the Chinese.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. There's two observations here. First is the People's Republic of China loves to portray itself as if it had some level of consequential influence over the DPRK leadership. I think recent events have shown that the People's Republic of China leadership has far less influence over DPRK leadership than they take credit for. So I think it's a wise move to disassociate our strategy via North Korea from our strategy with PRC to the extent where we say, look, you want to help us, help us. If you don't, we'll take care of the problem on our own.
And particularly after last week. I mean, we've got a certain credibility after Syria that we didn't have before.
Yeah, so one of the things that drives me nuts when I listen to people talk about strategy is say we need a political solution. There is no political solution or there is no diplomatic solution unless there is either a military solution or military credibility associated with it.
In other words, the generals surrounding this crazy dictator, Kim, are not going to commit suicide, but they have to be sure that somebody outside would be there to help them. And so far, the U.S. has been a very unsteady ally.
Yeah, it's just impossible to understand the internal machinations of the DPRK leadership. We know that from our perspective, they're crazy. What they do is completely counterproductive to their economic interest, their strategic interests. They're completely isolated. So there's really no way to credibly influence their decision-making process.
All right. One final word on their threat. There was a time, way back in the 1960s, the late 60s, when a U.S. naval ship, the USS Pueblo, was taken over. The crew members, I think there were about 60 of them, were held hostage for a period of time by the North Koreans. I don't think there's any danger. I mean, the ships that we are sending there now would not be surrounded by North Korea and overtaken by North Korea as the Pueblo was, right?
No, that'd be a very short gunfight if any North Korean naval vessels went up against a carrier strike group.
You almost hope in a way that they would, just so that we could blow them out of the water. They're so crazy.
Yeah, there's no almost on my end. I'd love to see it.
Chris Harmer, I'm with you. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.